Everybody, welcome to tea session number 4. Wow, it's number 4 already. It's been fun meeting with you guys every week on YouTube and getting these questions that are so good. Some of them I'm a little hesitant to answer, but I will answer them. Of course, you can always send your questions to wisdomby30@gmail.com. I will always reply. If you have my personal number, you can text me and send in your questions. It doesn't matter how many questions there are. It's just that I will be only answering 3 questions a week. So your questions will be shuffled between the other ones. I try to make sure I answer questions that kind of coincide with each other. So, yeah, so that's how the question setup goes. So as always, we get right into it, no small talk. So the first question is, were any of the characters in the book upset regarding the way they were portrayed or regarding the details that were mentioned? So all of the characters in my book all have fictitious names. They're so left field that I think if they read it, they probably wouldn't know who they are. And so I do have a few of them that's in the book that I'm still friends with. I did let one of them read it before I actually put it out. Initially, that person was okay with the chapter and how it went out, and we discussed some things or whatever, nothing major. But then months later, after the book was released, I don't know if they had a moment to meditate or think about it even further, but they were not so happy with the way that they were portrayed. But of course, the people who were in my life at that time know who each chapter is. So especially if we've been friends for a long period of time, you can kind of figure out who they are. But I did it to protect them, but I also did not want to take away the authenticity of my story. So as always, there's 3 sides to every story. There's my side, of course, and then their side, and then of course we know God's side. So, but for the most part, I didn't get any flack besides that one person. I was kind of upset with them because I was like, I gave you ample enough time to say something, to let you read it, to let you meditate on it and everything. And it was just like almost a year later, they were upset about it. So I guess, things get really real with people and that's just how they feel, whatever. But for the most part, I don't think they will be upset. It is what it is. We all make mistakes, especially if they're in a place where I am right now. Like, okay, it happened. It's life. We learn from it and we move on or whatever. But yeah, so far, so good. No issues. And then the other ones I just don't talk to. So, I mean, touche. So, that's about the characters and how they feel about it. Question number 2, did you ever take part in doing drugs while dating the bad boy? No. I was dumb, but not that dumb. No, never wanted that stuff in my system. I saw what it did to other people, and it was depressing because there was one instance where this lady actually could not afford her habit, and she ended up being a maid for like a week. And what I mean by that is that she cleaned his house, my house, his brother's house, cars, all kinds of stuff. One guy gave up his car, which was a nice Mercedes Benz. And so while the luxury of it is, ooh, I get to drive and ride around in this car or whatever, that those people can get crazy if they really can't afford it and be like, oh, they stole my car, or they took this from me, or they did this to me, and all this other stuff. So it was just really crazy. But no, ma'am, Pam, never, ever, ever, ever have I ever taken any drugs. I don't even take Tylenol for headaches at all. I'd rather fight it out. Like, I'm just not a medicine person. I am a rebel when it comes to medicine and pills and all that other stuff, because most of the stuff that they put inside of these pills are have things that make you addicted to them. And so also being a medical claims adjuster, I have, like, reading through people bills and their symptoms and diagnosis. I read the labels on a lot of prescriptions and I'm like, oh my God, this is why people get strung out. And so no, I've just always been turned off by taking any medicine. Like, NyQuil is terrible. Theraflu is terrible. All that stuff is terrible to me. So, child, I would never do any type of drug or take any type of pill or anything. I just rather fight it out with the pain. I'm like my grandmother. My grandmother used to drink red wine for everything. She was a complete naturalist. And when we got sick, she was creating something in the kitchen. It was horrible, but I promise you, I got my life the next day. I was on point and I felt good about it. So no, never did that. But I also seen the effects that it take on people. And so I'm just not into that pharmaceutical lifestyle. I just can't do it. So no, can't do it. So the third question is, did you learn more about life once you left the nest? So in the beginning of the book, I tell you that I left home at 17 and I moved to Atlanta all by my little self. My family, still to this day, is in New Orleans. So far as family here, I have my husband and my daughter and our son that's on the way. And then my husband's cousin who's here, who lives on the other side of town. And my closest friends, like 2 or 3 of them that I know I could call and just be like, hey, I need you real quick. But other than that, no family. But in short, of course I learned a lot after I left my mama house, because when you're a certain age, you're like, man, I can't wait to get my own stuff, to handle my own, to have my own. You know, you get into that independence atmosphere, and it was a lot. I learned about different lifestyles. I think the thing that struck me the most was living in New Orleans. If you live uptown, there's no apartment complexes. We all live in shotgun houses, 2-story houses, 3-story houses. And our parents rented them out, or either they owned them, whatever the case was. But we always rented, and we lived in shotgun houses. We were always like a block away from my grandmother. And so when I got here, it was like apartment complexes everywhere. And I'm like, there's no houses. I can't rent a house. It's apartment complex on top of apartment complex. So that was a culture shock for me, for one. Then for two, I had no idea how broke we were until I moved to Atlanta. It was just like, in New Orleans, we so happy poor. We know every Friday we doing a crawfish boil or getting some seafood, and we go stand on the lake and we go do all this other stuff. And so here in Atlanta, child, life is different. Everybody is on, oh, I drive this, oh, I do that, or my cousin is this celebrity, or I'm related to this person, or I'm in the studio and all this other stuff. It was just a whole different culture shock so far as my surroundings was different. The friendships here are different. You know, nothing against anybody that's from Atlanta. It's just that the girls that I know that are from here, they see friendship in a whole different light. They do the frenemy type thing. We don't do that where I'm from. Either we like you or we don't. There's no in between. I rock with you, I don't. And so all of my friends that I have from home, most of them are friends from middle school to now. And it's just been 100 ever since then. Some of the friends I've gotten into it with, and we still love each other to this day, and we still friends. But I used to fight a lot when I got here. I know that it's hard to believe because I am who I am today, but I used to be a firecracker, and I used to always be on guard because that's just the atmosphere that I was in. It was like I always had to have my fist up because I'm from a different place. New Orleans and Atlanta really don't mix. I mean, when football season comes around, we hate each other completely. But so far as that lifestyle, so far as that aspect of life, friendships, I learned a lot. Loyalty, I learned a lot, which people use that word so loosely. I don't even think they know what it means. And then also just life, like livelihood, living. Like if you didn't make a certain amount of money, or if you weren't doing certain things, then you just couldn't be with a certain group of people. I mean, I've never been a crowd pleaser, but you'd be surprised these grown folks out here trying to please other people and just out here fronting, renting luxury cars just to make it seem like they got it, but they don't. So it's really sad. So far as what else I learned about life, also learning how to run a household, how to maintain and sustain myself. The grind, oh my gosh, like the grind was so real. At one point I was working 3 jobs and going to school full time and still partying on the weekend. Like I literally had bags and suitcases in my trunk because I'm leaving work, but I still want to go party. But then I know I got to come back and go back to work, do a double, then go to school, still do my homework and all of this stuff. It was crazy. I don't know how I made it. Well, God, that's how I made it through God. But whew, it was rough. Also being away from your family. Oh my God. So the main thing is, when you leave, your whole idea is I'm leaving, I'm not coming back. I mean, I love New Orleans, but so far as professionally and the type of work that I do and the type of work that I want to get into and all this other stuff, there's just no opportunity there back home. Home has changed a lot, majorly because of Katrina. So that means a lot of jobs left, a lot of companies left. It's just a whole different atmosphere, and it's a lot of money grubbing people that's just out there taking neighborhoods that we built. And gentrification is real. So I'm here in Atlanta because I feel like there's more opportunity out here for me, even though I'm tired of it. I'm really ready to go somewhere else, but I'm still sticking it out here. But anyway, regarding home and everything and leaving home, you don't realize that, okay, I'm gonna get married. I need help with these children. I can't call my mama because she lives so far away. She's in a whole different city and state. My husband is from Oakland, California. We live in Atlanta, Georgia. A plane ticket back to Oakland, it's easy, $250, and that's one way if you don't do it in advance. So to just thinking about how to get home, like I didn't think about that type of stuff. Even though I could just hop in the car, it'll take me 5 hours. It's not supposed to take me 5 hours. It's supposed to take me 7, 8-ish hours to drive home to New Orleans. But I'm so used to the drive now that it doesn't bother me. And then I leave in the middle of the midnight hour anyway. But it's tough. It's really tough because now I am a mother. I have a 4-year-old. And then I have a baby that's on the way. He'll be here in March. And so we need help. We need help, but our families can't. We don't want, let me say this. We don't want our families to pick up and leave everything that they have just to come and save us, because this is our family and we still have to take care of our family. And we are parents and we are obligated to take care of our children. But to be able to be like, oh my, can I drop them off today because I need to go run and do this, and this. it would be a blessing. And now I kind of understand why my grandmother always made sure that when she moved from one neighborhood, that we moved with her, because after school, my mom is still at work. We can go to my grandmother's house and we go chill over there till a certain time. She walk us home, make sure we take our baths and everything, and then go to bed. And then my mom is coming right behind her, getting off from work. So it kind of worked out. Then I had my uncle and then I had my aunt. So we were always covered. This life here with family in New Orleans and family in Oakland, child, you got to be strategic, especially if you plan to have a family. I can't necessarily say that I plan to have a family, because I was told in 2006 that I couldn't have children, that I couldn't even conceive, that it would be a total process. If I decided that I wanted to have children, I would have to go through all these tests, do all this fertility stuff, and yeah. But of course, and it turned out that way because I'm on number 3. So, but it's definitely different. You definitely need your family. Definitely need your family. You do need that assistance. You do need that help. So that's another thing that I learned, because I was just completely sold on, I'm leaving NOLA. I'm not coming back. Not to move back, not to live. Like, that was my constant grind. Like, I can't go back home. I can't go back home. I can't go back home. So, but now it's to the point where we kind of need the help. And with this new baby coming, we definitely need the help. But the great thing about it is I have an awesome husband that is completely a team player, and we definitely play off each other. So we take shifts, we do whatever we have to do to get things done, and it works out that way. So that's another thing I learned about leaving the nest. Do I feel like I left the nest too early? I don't think so. I think I was mature enough to be able to be on my own. Was I green in some situations? And what I mean by green is that I really just didn't know about certain things. Yeah, I was, but that's just life. Most of us are green in something, and one day it hits us and then we find out about it. So, but yeah, that's my take on learning more about life after leaving the nest. You learn by trial and error. It's uncomfortable. Nobody wants to go through struggle. Nobody wants to go through hardship. Nobody wants to deal with the extra. We just want everything to be all good. I just want all my bills to be paid, and I have some food in my stomach, and I'm good. But sometimes it don't work out that way. Sometimes you're at the gas station making life decisions, putting gas in the car, saying, did I eat today? Probably didn't. You probably should get some crackers or something. But, life happens. So you have moments like that. But those were the 3 questions for Tea Session 4. The questions that I have, they get, how can I put it? More tea-ish when as we go along or whatever. So I'll see you guys next week for Tea Session number 5. Please send in your questions. Please share the book with everybody you know. I think it's an amazing story. And I'm being completely transparent. So it's still on Amazon. Amazon Prime is the best. You get it in 2 days. The paperback, some of you guys are real sticklers for paperbacks. So and you do have the option to do the ebook. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. Of course, I'm always grateful, and I'm going to always say thank you for everything. And so I hope you enjoy this video, and please like, share, tag, subscribe. Okay. Have a good one.